Fight! Johnny Cage. Headshot. Console Drones Gamer Talk Podcast.
Hello listeners, gamers, and internet. We're back once again and welcome to Console Drones Gamer Talk Podcast, episode number 42. You're listening to a weekly podcast where we talk about everything and anything but mainly video games. I'm your host Chris, and as always, I'm here with Joe and Miguel. For our new listeners, you can find all our show notes, which is Deuce's News, Demonic States, social links, blogs, pictures, and videos over at consoledrones.com. Remember to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Let's get started with the first segment, and it's what you drinking and what have you been playing. Let's start off this week with Deuce. Deuce, my friend, what are you drinking and what have you been playing?
I'm actually not drinking anything right now. I've been playing Rocket League, and I just started playing Skyrim Special Edition, and that's it.
Right on. All right, let's move on down to Demonic. What are you drinking and what have you been playing this week, buddy?
I am drinking Mountain Dew Code Red, and what I've been playing, Overwatch, a lot of Overwatch, Heroes of the Storm, and I started playing Prey, but I don't know how I feel about it. But, Prodigy, what are you drinking? What have you been playing?
Right now, I am drinking an Arnold Palmer, and I've played some Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Remix, Skyforge, and Super Mario Bros. 3 on my SNES. So, that's what I've been playing. Now it's time for Deuce's Weekly News.
All right, here we go, folks. Another week, more news. Our sources are GameSpot, Polygon, VG247, IGN, and Frag Hero. First headline: Overwatch has brought in over $1 billion, and this headline also has some news about Destiny 2 for PC users. So Blizzard games are doing the business thanks to record monthly active users and continued sales of World of Warcraft in-game content and continued strength of Overwatch customization items. So Activision and Blizzard had a rather great Q1 2017, and here is some more of that. Sorry, my mouse moved the article down. According to Activision Blizzard, the company as a whole had 431 million monthly active users, or MAUs, during the quarter ending March 31st, 2017, with $250 million revenue for that sector. Games not developed by Blizzard saw a decrease in MAUs to 48 million year over year compared to 2016. Activision Blizzard attributed this to expected softness from last year's Call of Duty Infinite Warfare release. Last week's reveal trailer for Call of Duty World War II had the most quote-unquote organic views and was the most liked video for the franchise ever on YouTube, unlike Infinite Warfare. The reveal trailer has gone on to become the most liked trailer in Call of Duty history and become the fastest video to reach 10 million views in Call of Duty history, said company CCO Thomas Tipple. It did it in one day. So wow, that's pretty cool. The negativity from last year's reveal trailer for Infinite Wars compared to World War II, quote unquote, is at around 0.2%, said CEO Bobby Kotick. During a call to investors. The negative social media sentiment, which was an issue last year, has virtually evaporated. Initial pre-orders for Call of Duty World War II, although are very early, also off to a very strong start. As previously reported, the multiplayer portion of the game will be revealed in June, probably at E3. So new content for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 fans, the Zombie Chronicles, is set to launch on May 16th. First on PS4. The remastered collection includes 8 of the franchise's Zombies maps. Destiny 2 wasn't mentioned too much during the call, only that Bungie will release it on September 8th for current platforms and the addition of PC, all of which was previously announced. The firm said that the response of Destiny 2 or to the Destiny 2 reveal was very encouraging, and pre-orders are off to a very strong start as well. The most important thing for the title is to continue to get the content pipeline right. So that's what they need to work on. So back in November, the firm said during a call to investors that a desire for original Destiny content outpaced the ability to deliver. So going forward, the firm will have a better approach to delivering a steady stream of great content to help keep players engaged. This will also help the universe keep the universe alive and growing. Finally, Hirschberg also added that Destiny 2 will have meaningful features for the PC community, which will be revealed on May 18th during the live stream. Hirschberg also said to expect some sort of free update to Destiny at some point. He didn't add anything further. So
to go back to that Overwatch news, Joe, how many active people did they have?
Going back, it said 431 million monthly active users.
Wow, I wonder how many of those are... So, as you guys know, I play a lot of Overwatch, and there are a lot of Smurf accounts. So, I wonder how many actual users there are. Because even myself, I play on my Xbox, I play on my PC, so there's 2. And I have my friends Alex and Lou starting to play it, so I may use my other account, so I might have a second Smurf. So I'm curious how many active users they actually have. That if everyone only used one account, how many people are playing it?
I see what you mean. It like doubled.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, Q1 or quarter 1 2017 revenue for Blizzard clocked, like I said before, at $441 million, which is an increase of 50%. Overwatch's launch anniversary is coming up on May 24th, and there are many opportunities to grow the brand, said company boss Mike Morhaime. He did not add any color to future plans for the game, but surely a one-year anniversary party for players would be a nice touch. The game's seasonal event, Year of the Rooster, broke the previous engagement records until April's Uprising event hit the record time spent milestone. Overwatch continued to be the developer's fastest growing new franchise, reaching over 30 million players globally, as previously reported. The game is now the $8 billion franchise in Activision Blizzard's portfolio. Hearthstone's monthly active users also grew year over year, or YOY, and quarter over quarter, despite no content releases during the Q1 period. The April release of Journey to Ungoro brought in a record amount of players. It recently surpassed the 70 million registered player milestone life to date. And time spent playing World of Warcraft grew year over year during the period, and the launch of Heroes of the Storm 2.0 brought players back to the game. And that's all I got for Overwatch news. Next headline. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds developer already looking to port the game to Xbox One. So, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is the latest Steam and Twitch phenomenon that's out of reach for most console players, and for the simple reason it's a PC-only game. So, this won't be the case forever, and the developer Bluehole is already looking into porting it to Xbox One. Creative director Brendan, quote-unquote, PlayerUnknown Green, confirmed to Business Insider that a console version is not out of the question. We have a team working already on it, already looking into porting it for the Xbox One. They're also looking at both consoles, of course, but Xbox One will be the first one. It says they have no time frame yet on the Xbox One or PS4, but they are looking at it. When they do decide to focus on making a console port, it won't be a massive undertaking, thanks to the fact that the game uses Unreal Engine 4. Quote unquote, porting to consoles isn't that hard. The Unreal Engine 4 is a great engine to use for multi-platform, he said. Right now, the focus is getting the PC version out of early access, which Green previously said would take 5 to 6 months. That's where the majority of the resources are going.
Are either of you familiar with this game?
Yeah, I haven't even looked into this yet, so you guys would know a little bit more than I would on that one.
I've done research and I've kind of read up on it, and I know it's kind of like you start off with nothing and you just go around and trying to take each other out. So
I actually have bought this game, and it's interesting because you just go in the match, and when you die, you're done. So then you just get kicked right back out to the menu and start a new match. That's all it really is. Yeah, if you guys want to try it, you're more than welcome to come try it.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Cool. All right, next headline. This one's kind of cool, especially for Prodigy. So it's time. It is time, okay, to return to Ark Survival Evolved. Yes. Now that sharks shoot laser beams from their frickin' heads, okay? So the Ark Survival Evolved patch 257 is introducing a bunch of new content, from a UI overhaul to new creatures and tech.
Ooh.
So our most favorite addition is the Tech Megalodon Saddle to make laser shooting sharks a reality. There are 4 new animals, a tech cloning chamber, and upgraded turrets and grenades. The volcano has had a redesign with a tech cave inside waiting to be explored. So you can find out more details in the patch notes, but I got a quick few little snippets here of what is included in the patch. So we have a tech Megalodon Saddle, a tech turret and tech grenades, tech cloning chamber, which means survivors now have the ability to clone their favorite creatures for the cost of element shards. Creatures will retain their level, appearance, and statistics. So the 4 new creatures are a giant bee, a Daedon combadentus, Leoplorodon magicus, and Kentrosaurus, a Theopicus. A lot of scientific names, but 4 new creatures, and the volcano, like I said before, the volcano redesign and tech cave. There's going to be more UI overhauls, new hairstyle, facial hair, approximately 20 plus new explorer notes, 15 new music tracks per biome and situational, a full gamepad input pass, so console gamepad functionality. They fixed issues with cave spawns not functioning properly in single player. The center has a mega update. Ooh. There's a new emote. The Ingram tree has been revamped, and there's an alpha megalodon, and all alphas have their own apex items. So we get to look forward to that. I'm pretty sure that right now it's going to be on PC first, but we could probably wait like 2 months and it'll be out on the Xbox or PS4. All right, next headline. This one I'm excited about. The new Assassin's Creed rumor. Yes, people, Assassin's Creed Origins. So right now it's just a rumor, but they're stating that it's huge. It's huge. But it's going to be like Skyrim. Purported screen grab, shows that it takes time during Egypt or the Egyptian period. And they're saying that the map is just gigantic. So it's going to be as large as Skyrim. So rumors about the next Assassin's Creed game have been swirling around during the series' much-needed break. The latest one suggesting that it'll go down the Syndicate route, which will have a pair of male and female protagonists. So thus far, they've heard that the project's title is called Assassin's Creed Empire, and that the setting for the game will be in Egypt. So WWG claims to have spoken to the sources at Ubisoft, who have confirmed that the game will be revealed at E3, yes, and that the new title is called Assassin's Creed Origins. So apparently the game is a quote-unquote vast open-world experience set in Egypt, telling the tale of the original Assassin's Guild. Character progression won't be intertwined with a story to the same extent as previous titles in the series, with one of the sources going so far to compare it to Skyrim. Players can even venture beyond the bounds of Egypt, possibly even go as far as Greece, says WWG. The freedom and exploration sound like a Far Cry game from the usual fare of the franchise. Another source told WWG that Assassin's Creed Origins is the game will be huge and the biggest Assassin's Creed game ever created. Boats and naval combat are both purported to be part of the gameplay. As you can see in some of the leaked images, they show this guy in a little mini sailboat on a river. So that's one of them. And they're actually saying that if you look at the screen grab, you can zoom in on part of the objectives, and it says to assassinate the crocodile and follow Shaddai to Canut's villa, which appears to be a reference to Queen Canut during the 5th Dynasty. So following the E3 2017 reveal, we can expect a fall release, which is in line with the series' usual October release date. Until Ubisoft announces the next Assassin's Creed game again, take everything in this article as to be, just a grain of salt. But, the questions that they're asking is, have you been eagerly awaiting the next installment? Are you still fatigued with the series, or has the break made you long for the iconic hood? And as a huge Assassin's Creed fan, I can not wait for this title to come out, because I know since it's going to be such a large open world map, they're going to throw in naval combat, which goes back to the greatest element in Black Flag. So that's going to be awesome. Even though it's going to be earlier in time, you're still going to have naval combat, which is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got for the news, guys.
And now it's time for Demonic's dates.
Alright guys, this upcoming week we have Akiba's Beat on the 16th for PlayStation by Exceed Games. They do put out a lot of games, don't they, Joe?
Yeah, they're basically just ports, so they just reformat it, and I'm not sure if they actually translate it or not. They may, but yeah, it's the game's already done in Japan. They just have to reformat it for the US.
Yeah. Next up, we have Farpoint VR. It's all for you, Joe, on the 16th for PlayStation by Sony Computer Entertainment. I think I remember you saying you were interested in this one. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Are you going to be picking it up?
Yes, I will be.
Are you going to pick up the peripheral gun for it?
Yes, I will.
Sweet. I can't wait to try that out. Next up, Cooking Mama Sweet Shop on the 16th for 3DS by Rising Star Games. Next, The Surge on the 16th for Xbox and PlayStation by Focus Home Interactive. And last but not least, this is probably the biggest one, Injustice 2 on the 16th for Xbox and PlayStation by Warner Home Video Games. And then there was also the Call of Duty Zombies collection coming out next Tuesday for PlayStation, correct, Joe?
That is correct.
So, the one I'm looking most forward to is Injustice. I just want to play the story.
Yeah, that game sounds really cool.
And that's all coming out this week, guys.
So now it's time for a little game for getting to know the drones. I'm going to be playing the sound game, and Deuce and Demonic are going to guess what sound where the game came from. So let's get started. You guys ready for this?
No.
Yep. Let's do it. Let's just get it over with. Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. First one up.
Mega Man.
You are correct, Deuce.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that one.
All right, here's the next one.
Street Fighter.
And Demonic got a point. 1-1. Here we go. Next one.
Mario.
Oh my God, Mario! Come on, Super Mario. Jesus.
It's a me.
Oh, sorry. All right, here we go. How about this one?
Was that like a lightning strike?
You want to hear it again? Listen to the vehicle.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
No?
Yeah, either that or it's just a poor audio file. I can't really. To me, it sounds like a lightning strike.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, that was the Halo 3 Banshee.
That did not sound like a banshee.
Joe knows his Halo.
How about this one?
You did what you had to do.
That was Gears of War.
Correct.
That was Marcus Phoenix.
Correct. Somebody should get this one. Demonic should get this one right away, but we'll see.
Oh, that's Modern Warfare. That's an Infinity Ward logo popping up in Modern Warfare.
There you go. Good shit. All right, here we go. Come on, this is easy.
Joe?
Another Mario game.
Going down the tubes.
Jesus, man.
Going down the pipes.
Let's just make it challenging, you know.
All right. This is extra credit right here. This is a PC game. I'll give you that much. Where's this come from?
Headshot. Headshot.
Isn't that Quake?
It's part of it, yes, but they use it a lot in a very popular game on the PC back in the day.
Headshot.
Counter-Strike?
Yep. Ding ding.
I was gonna say that till Chris said back in the day. I didn't know how old Counter-Strike actually is.
Counter-Strike's pretty old.
Yep, and that's pretty much it right now. I mean, this one you guys got.
Outstanding.
Oh, yeah. We know what that one is.
What you should have had for the Mortal Kombat one was Scorpion Spear.
That, yep.
Yeah, that's true. I couldn't. This is the first time we're playing this with our new soundboard, so we'll continue to play this game. I'll get harder sounds for next game. But that's pretty much it for getting to know the drones. Good job, guys. I'd call that an equal match.
Yay.
Woo! All right, let's move on down. Let's get down to our any what the fuck moments before we get to our main topics. Do you guys have any what the fucks?
Oh, yes.
Go for it.
All right, my what the fuck. I wasn't going to make it part of the news, but what the fuck, GameStop? You're selling a used game to an 11-year-old with a meth bag in it? What the fuck, GameStop? Why don't you just shut your doors? You know, just go bankrupt. Nobody cares about GameStop anymore. Just get rid of your stores. You know, have ThinkGeek make their own stores, but to sell an 11-year-old, and I know this is kind of ironic, but the game the 11-year-old bought was GTA 5, but it had a meth bag in it, a bag of meth in it. So, I mean, it's funny, but it's like, come on. I mean, what are you guys doing? It's one thing after another. Pretty much GameStop is just going down the drain, man. They're done. I think the news has hit it, and you know their stock's gonna just plummet now. That's my what the fuck.
That's rough. You got anything demonic?
This week, what the fuck? No, I don't think that I do. Other than, what the fuck? I feel like games recently haven't been able to just grab me like they used to and just hold on to me for that story. Like, I started playing Prey and I don't care. Like, I used to be so set on finishing every game that I play, but now it's like, I'm just gonna go play Overwatch. Fuck this game. Hopefully Injustice can keep me engaged. Do you guys feel that way at all lately?
I actually do. I mean, with the last game that I played that was really great was Horizon, as far as the story, but then after that, I mean, I've been reverting back to Skyrim. I've been playing, Rocket League. I'm almost going back to the point where it's just doing like mindless arcade games, just something. I don't want anything with the story. I just want something I can turn on and just play. I don't have to worry about where was I in the story or how far in was I, So I'm going back. Yeah, I'm going back to like Fallout, Mass Effect, Skyrim. So I'm going backwards.
And maybe it's because so the two games I'm mainly talking about are Dishonored 2 and Prey, which I got both of them on sale. I didn't really want to pay full price for them. I was just like, oh, they're on sale, I'm getting them. Dishonored 2, I barely played it, and now Prey, I got it on sale. I know I was iffy on it to begin with, so maybe that's part of it, but I'm not engaged in these games that are coming out lately.
Yeah. I feel you.
Just like for me,
go ahead, Prodigy.
I was like playing going backwards. I've been going backwards quite a bit, playing Kingdom Hearts and playing Super Mario Brothers, obviously, that we know. I keep going backwards because you're just about right, hit it right on the nose there, Demonic. Nothing has grabbed me lately as far as any games or anything that's really intrigued me. I think the only thing that I'm really getting into is that Skyforge. But that's been around on PC and whatnot too before it hit consoles. So, I mean, I guess I'm still going backwards.
Yeah, because right now I'll start playing something and I'm just like, I'm going to go play Overwatch. I don't really want to play this game.
Right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they just announced, I think it was this week, that God of War won't release until 2018. So,
20
they're
what?
pushing it back to get 2018.
Boo.
It was slated to be at the end of this year, but now they haven't confirmed. Sony hasn't confirmed it, but the actor that plays Kratos, he said the game won't be out till 2018.
Oh, okay. The new actor that plays Kratos?
Yeah. Or the voice actor, I should say.
Well, yeah. That's a bummer.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. That's just how it's coming right now. We're just in this blah state.
Well, like I said, hopefully Injustice next week can get me out of that.
Get you out of the rut, huh?
Get me out of that. These games suck rut. Prodigy, any what the fuck this week?
Yeah, actually, I do have a what the fuck, and it's pretty funny, actually. So it's the other morning, and I totally knew what was happening because during the weekend, I noticed that a bird had built a nest right above by my front door. We have like this little welcome wreath in front of our door, and literally the bird built a nest like right inside that little wreath. And every fucking morning, I should have known better, but every morning I go and open up the door and I go out, and this fucking bird literally almost hit me in the face the other day. It scared the piss out of me, and I was like, what the fuck? And it was early this morning, and I was like, well, there's my what the fuck. It scared the living shit out of me, this bird, so I'm going to have to relocate this nest here in the next few days before they hatch, or else I'm going to have the bird actually attacking me, so to protect its young.
Yeah, I'd be like, this is my house, throw the nest on the floor and just fucking stomp on it or something, or chuck it across the damn yard. You don't have enough. It's my house. You're just a fucking bird that's going to swoop down and try and attack me and poke my eyes out. Fuck you. Yeah. No, I'm going to kill a bird, or I'm going to kill its babies. I don't care.
Damn. Yeah, so I'm going to be the nice guy and try to relocate, and hopefully the family finds its babies, but we'll see.
I can just...
If he pecks me in the face, then definitely gonna do what you said, Joe. What was that, Demonic?
Yeah.
I can just picture you, like, cupping your hands, holding the bird nest, and, like, walking really slowly, trying to be careful and set it down. I can see it.
Hey, can you? Nice.
or you just grow your beard out longer, like Peter Griffin, and put the birds in your beard.
There you go. Perfect. So, yeah, that was my what the fuck. So, it was pretty wild, so... That'll be fun, transferring the bird. I'll keep you all the listeners updated next week to see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, so let's
Prodigy's Bird Watch.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on down to the main topics. And the main topic, it's actually an extremely interesting topic. Joe has the article, and it is, Are We Living in a Computer Simulation? Go ahead, Joe.
All right, so I ran into this the other day, and this is actually from... Neil deGrasse Tyson, and the discussion came up of, could we possibly be in a computer simulation? So I'll read a little snippet of it. So basically it's almost like the plot of The Matrix, but it has a legitimate scientific hypothesis. Researchers pondered the controversial notion Tuesday that at the annual Isaac Asimov Memorial Debate at the American Museum of Natural History, and Neil deGrasse goes on, or Neil Tyson, however you want to say his name, he goes on to say, I think the likelihood may be very high, he said. He noted the gap between human and chimpanzee intelligence despite the fact that we share more than 98% of our DNA. Somewhere out there could be a being whose intelligence is that much greater than our own. We could be drooling, blithering idiots in their presence, he said. But if that's the case, then it is easy for him to imagine that everything in our lives is just a creation of some other entity, or for their entertainment. Excuse me. So at the University of Oxford, a philosopher, Nick Bostrom, in 2003 had suggested that we are part of a simulation created by an advanced civilization with an enormous computer. This computer is so large that it's able to run simulations of their ancestors. So they're going on saying that we are simulations of this other being's ancestors. So we're kind of reliving history, because in the simulation they are able to run code and run program and depict how history was for them. So it's really, really interesting. Let me try and find something else real quick on it. So there is room for skepticism, because they said, there are so many layers of code when you write a video game or write a simulation, that there are probably either on one side there's either so many layers of code that we're unable to crack it, or just existence is just simplified, where it's just simply that we are our existence in our galaxy is just a perfect scenario, and then that's how it is. So they were saying that this computer would have to be the size of approximately Jupiter to be able to compute so much code to whereas right now we are able to code a single being in a video game. So we tell it how to walk, we tell it how to talk, we tell it what to do. They are able to program not only just the being and the brain of that being, but they are able to program the molecules that make up that being. And with that much code and that much computing power, they are able to give us, or the simulation, free will. So we think we have free will because the technology is so advanced that, that it's able to compute out that far. And it's kind of like when we're playing The Sims. Right now when we play The Sims, if we choose to, we can tell them what to do, or we can leave it running. And when we go to work and come home, they went to work and came home, and they're doing their stuff around the house. But they are not aware yet of the free will. So just imagine us being a simulation playing a simulation, So
it's almost like you're.
Yeah, so I mean, what do you guys? I don't want to get into boring details about the article, but it's kind of just basically that's what it is. It's like there's a alien supercomputer that's able to code what we're doing in it, and they're watching us. And one of Neil's arguments was, if you look at it, it's like as a civilization we do great, and then we have horrible catastrophes, and then we do great, and then horrible catastrophes. So he's saying it's just like when we're playing Sim City, and we're playing, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, meteor strike, boom, and then it's or flood or tornado or fire or whatever. It's like it's almost like it's like that.
Maybe the galaxy really is on Orion's belt, like on Men in Black. Maybe it's that small and insignificant.
Right, it's almost like we're talking about the Matrix here. It's that far into it.
It ties a lot. It ties a lot into the Matrix, except for the fact that we would not be able to unplug because there is no physical us outside of the Matrix. It's just us.
Just code.
We're just code. We can't pick up a phone and just teleport outside. We're not being used as batteries like in the Matrix, but we're just a line of code.
Or maybe we are batteries.
You never know. I was also thinking it'd be pretty crazy. Like, I wish they could hear me. Like, hey, I can't fucking beat Nier Automata. I would like you to put some code into the video game that I'm playing so I could have some health potions so I could get through the boss fight. How about that?
You're so done with that game, aren't you?
No, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to beat it without health potions. I'll be the first one ever. Probably not, but... No, it's pretty interesting to think that, we're a simulation and that this giant alien computer is just watching us and basically playing Sims with us.
Yeah, my question is, like, I'm like in The Sims where they look up at the screen and shake their fist, or oh yay, do that thing like in The Sims. I'm like, where's my Game Shark code? Hello, money cheat, hello, that type of thing.
Yeah, I could have used that a few times.
Yeah, really. So, I
can't even catch no goddamn fish.
I know. I want my stats up, please.
Yeah, let's
increase my fishing stats.
Maybe we can raise our listener stats too on this podcast. If you're watching us, let's get some more listeners in here.
Yeah,
maybe it's not really the Matrix. Maybe it's like Assassin's Creed, when they go back in the past and they're in the simulation.
Oh, like
maybe that's what we are.
Abstergo, yeah, from the Animus, yeah.
And there's just one person that's like an actual being in our world.
Yeah, or we're all laying down at tables at Abstergo, they're trying to watch our past. You know, we're actually from the future, but we're playing our past. And we're just stuck in some white room attached to a table with a computer, and some poor schmuck has to sit there and watch us live out our boring simulation. You're like, oh, well, mine's done. Can I get another one, please?
They're trying to see where everything went wrong.
Yeah, or who caused what, or, you know.
Are you talking about my simulation, Miguel?
Could be.
They're like, what went wrong here?
The bad luck simulation? That's what you got.
The bad luck simulation. I know, right? This constantly. I mean, I could tell the listeners a bunch of stories about how my bad luck just constantly happens to me, and I'm pretty sure the simulators in the sky or the alien in the sky is making it happen.
Well, I think they already heard because you're going to get attacked by a bird that's on your door.
Yeah, that's one right there. I almost did the other morning, so.
That poor bird.
I know, right? We're still stuck on the bird thing, huh?
We're still stuck on the bird thing. That poor bird.
That damn bird.
It's your bad luck, but it's your bad luck, but I feel bad for the bird.
Fuck the alien simulation. Let's just talk about birds.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
We'll give you a bird.
No, one of the scientists says if the simulation hypothesis is valid, then we open the door to eternal life and resurrection and things that formerly have been discussed in the realm of religion. The reason is quite simple. If we are programs in the computer, then as long as I have a computer that's not damaged, I can always rerun the program. So it's almost like it touches on that eternal life thing where, okay, you level up when you die, or you know, you go, you know, you do something else, or you know, it just opens up a free your mind, you know, kind of Matrix thing.
Yeah. There's so many scenarios that we could talk about with this topic too. It's so broad and open and interesting that, you know, we could talk about like the Matrix scenario and the alien computer scenario. There's all kinds of things with this topic, which is pretty crazy just to even think about. Like, we're not really real and we're just a simulation. That's just even crazy to think about, just that part of it.
But those of you that are interested, it's all over the internet right now. You could look it up. I think it's called Space Talk is his talk show on YouTube, and he does podcasts and stuff. But this one, if you just look up Are We a Simulation, you can have the full discussion and all of its nerdiness in full detail. So enjoy if you're really into it. You know, if you're really into that stuff, then let's do it and watch it and listen and let us know what you think. Send us an email, consoledrones@gmail.com or podcast with an S at consoledrones.com. Yeah.
All right. So I think we're done talking about that topic. I kind of want to know like what Prey is about a little bit more, like the game Prey, because I know that just recently came out. And are you enjoying it? I know you said you weren't really into the story, but how's the actual gameplay for that game?
It's a typical shooter. I mean, there's some really cool gadgets and stuff. I mean, I've only gotten 3 hours in, so I've only seen a few. But you have a recycle grenade, so you throw it, and so in the game you have to collect all these things, and you can break them down to build bullets or whatever. And there's a grenade you can actually throw that will take matter and turn it into its basic form. So it'll be like organic material, different kind of material, and you can use that to build bullets and stuff. But there's a glue gun. You use that, you shoot it, it hardens. It can either hold your enemies, the aliens, in place, or you can use it as a stepladder, basically. So that's pretty cool. Another funny thing is I came across a weapon, and it's a fucking toy dart gun that does no damage.
Weird.
I shit you not.
It's like an element of the zombie game that we fucking hated this year.
Dead Rising?
Got it. Dead Rising, there it is. It's just like Dead Rising where they have those weapons where they don't do shit. Is it kind of like that in a way?
Well, yeah, but it's still a lot more serious than Dead Rising.
Of course. But I'm just talking about the weapon itself.
Yeah, basically it's just a freaking dart gun. But
that's funny.
you're trying to figure out what happened. You're on a space station trying to figure out what happened, and you had to like basically they upload stuff, so it's like the Matrix. They can upload stuff into your mind, but if they have to get rid of a program that was put in your mind, you have to revert like a computer to settings that were before that was there. So your character has been reverted back. Every time he gets reverted, it's to the same point, not to where he was before he got a new program. It's like basic factory reset in his mind. So you're waking up and trying to figure out what's going on from that point. And nothing is what it seems. So.
Okay. Interesting. It sounds like an interesting game. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you can come play it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. Now, do we have any rando shit before we close this thing down?
I got a couple things real quick.
Okay. All right.
So I got a list together. Those of you that are listening in, we are recording on Wednesday, May 10th, and those that are aware, today is the Mexican Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all of the Latina mothers that are out there. Yeah, all of the other mothers, your Mother's Day will be on Sunday. So happy Mother's Day out there. And to go along with that, I went ahead and made a list of the most memorable moms in video games. So here we go. I think there's 10. So first on the list, Sonya Blade, obviously from Mortal Kombat X. Obviously, she's not a mother until Mortal Kombat X. Another one would be Sindel, mother of Kitana. Another one, here we go, Mrs. Chu from Sleeping Dogs. Prodigy, you probably know about this one. You remember Mrs. Chu, who was going to cut up that guy. Matriarch Benezia from Mass Effect. She's not one of the greatest mothers, but she kind of had like a Darth Vader moment where she kind of, right at the end, she had a choice to become good, so she did. Morrigan from Dragon Age. You eventually do, if you choose to, who wouldn't, you choose to have a child with her, and she takes the child. The Night Mother from Elder Scrolls universe. She's in charge of the Dark Brotherhood, and you listen to her every demand. Mad Moxie from Borderlands as well. There's also Dr. Catherine from Fallout 3, because without her, there would be no Fallout 3. She would have given birth and died giving birth to you, so that's one. Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy, I guess the mother of all, what was it, the stars or the moons or something. So, and last but not least, probably one of the greatest, most memorable moms in video game is you, of course, the player from Fable 2 and all of the Sims games. So you had a chance to, in Fable 2, you could play as a male or female. If you played as a female, you were a mother. So just, throwing that list out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, all races. So, and my other part of the rando is a question to you guys, okay? Now, this past week, we had the MTV Movie and TV Awards. They switched it up. So I guess I'm going to get right to it. The question is, with the release of all these Netflix shows, Amazon, Hulu, and everything about streaming shows, streaming TVs, can they replace movies?
Who wants to go first? Monic?
So, I think it's a possibility they could replace movies. I don't think it will happen, but some movies could be so great if they were spanned out over 10 weeks with 10 episodes. It would have so much more detail, but it would be so much more time consuming. And there's people that don't necessarily want to spend all that time on a TV show. So I think there's potential for it to take over movies, but I do not think it will happen. A movie is a 2-hour sitting where you get the whole story, or at least for you get a start and a finish in a movie in 2 hours, whereas these TV shows just go on, and you don't always know what the end game of it is. So,
but a lot of these movies are tied into each other now. Like, say for instance, all of the Marvel Universe movies, they're all tying into each other, and they're all creating this one giant timeline. So they're not yes, the movie itself is beginning and ending, but the storyline is still open for the next one. So if they did it and they broke it down like they're doing with Daredevil and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and what is it, Legion, they're doing that in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're doing all of this, but they're covering so much detail and they're covering so much in that Marvel universe that there would be no possibility to do it in a movie. But what do you think? I think
they have
Raji?
potential of taking over the movies, but honestly, I think really people go to the movies for the movie experience. So, the projector, the popcorn, all the atmosphere, so to speak, but other than that, I mean, the content that Netflix carries and everything, honestly, I think they would take over the movies, but honestly, I think just the atmosphere alone would keep those movies, the actual movie theater, alive.
Well, and then not only that, but personally, I'd go see a movie okay, I want to see this movie. It looks awesome. Right now, there are shows where I'm like, that show looks awesome, but I don't have time to watch that because that is such an investment to watch one show. If shows took over movies entirely, I would not have time to see everything that I wanted to see. As it is, I have a hard time seeing the shows that are out now. I still want to watch Blind Spot. I still need to see Iron Fist. I still need to see Stranger Things, but it's just such an investment to get into these series that at times I'd rather just go see a 2-hour movie, be done with that movie for a couple of years, and then there's going to be another one.
So yeah, I think... Yeah, Joe.
What do you think, Joe?
Well, I mean, I see, like, a lot of the saga movies, like, yes, you get the theater experience, but I would have really enjoyed Lord of the Rings as a series. I mean, I'm watching Game of Thrones now, but I would rather, I think I would enjoy it a lot more if it was a series instead of a movie. Now, looking from the other direction, if they would have created a Game of Thrones movie, there would have been so much that's missing. I mean, it's like the Dark Tower that's coming out. This book from Stephen King, it's a 4,000-page book, and it spans over like 8 or 9 books. And they're just making one movie, and then from what I'm hearing is after the movie they're going to do a series, which to me makes no sense. Just do the whole thing as a series. You can still have your star-studded cast, but they're just spanned across, this length of seasons, and it could be one of the longest going shows, and you don't necessarily have to worry about ratings in the beginning because you could film the whole thing and then do a normal Netflix original release where here's season 1, watch it, you get hooked, and they've already got the other seasons filmed, so you just all these actors are moving on to other projects, and then they just sit there and release season after season after season. And nowadays, we're at the point where when we watch Netflix, I don't watch Netflix and watch 1 or 2 episodes. I seriously, if I get hooked on a show, I'm watching the whole fucking show. That's why I never really start watching a show until Friday. That way, if I get hooked, I'm watching it the whole weekend through. Like Ceci and I just finished watching 13 Reasons Why, and that show alone is just a total mind fuck because it's so heavy and it touches on so many real topics that it's a real heavy show. It's tastefully disturbing. That's how I keep describing it. It's tastefully disturbing. But just going back to what I was saying, Man in the High Castle, and there's a couple other Netflix shows, Stranger Things, obviously. You get these great shows that they wouldn't work as a movie, but they work great as a show. But I think, to have a story with so much detail would be great as a series. Like, I would love to have a Star Wars series. I mean, why is Star Trek so great? It's not because of the movies. It's because it was on TV and it lasted for so many years.
I feel a little bit different on that too, only because, like, if we were to do a Star Wars series, the way I remember Star Wars was watching the movie and going to see the movie on the newer stuff when it came out. I was excited to go and see that. Now, if Star Wars were to start as a TV series in the very beginning, then it might be different. But now that the movie is so special to me, I think that if they were to make a TV series and it was like going towards the same, like they said, all right, fuck it, we're not going to make any more movies, we're just going to do a TV series and kind of go off from Force Awakens and go from Force Awakens and then just make a TV series, I feel like it would just be a watered down, diluted idea, in my opinion. I think that now that it's a movie, they got to keep it a movie, but I think it would have been a better idea if it was a TV series from the beginning, the get-go. I think that's why it made Star Trek special, and that would probably make Star Wars special in that way.
Yeah, and Clone Wars wasn't a huge success because Clone Wars was episode 2 basically in a TV show. But they released the movie and then they released Star Wars Clone Wars on Netflix, and that, or it was on Disney, but that is a TV show. It's a series, but people are so hooked that because there's the detail. You get the wham bam punch in the mouth, that's the movie. But if you want more info, here's the series that goes right. It coincides with the movie. So that's, I guess, that argument about the series not working, it's like, well, Clone Wars worked, Star Wars Rebels is working, so that you get the 2-hour punch in the mouth. Here's Star Wars for those that aren't fans, and those that are devoted, they're going to watch the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and, everything about it. So, what were you going to say, Miguel?
So, going back to the Dark Tower, that's like 7 books, isn't it?
I think it's like 7, 8 books, yeah.
So, they're not covering, correct me if I'm wrong, they're not covering the whole story, right? They're basically going to do like what they did with Harry Potter, like 7 different...
I don't. From what I'm hearing, they're only going to do one movie, but then after that, they're going to break off into a series.
But so the one movie is going to cover the one book, not the entire series.
Right. It's gonna. I think it's going to be like the introduction to the series, and then it's going to be like, well, if you want to watch more, watch the series. Kind of like I guess what the idea is, how Game of Thrones is going to end. It's going to end in a movie. So we're watching the series, and then I guess the very ending is going to be a movie.
Okay.
But, yeah, I'm okay with them tying in. It was just a question saying, do you think the TV can replace movies? So I think my point of view is a very detailed movie that it was either created from a book, should be anything created from a book should be a TV series, because that's the only way you can really capture the fine detail that you would when you're reading a book.
And I agree. If you think about it, like Lord of the Rings, 3 different books, 3 different movies, and then they went with The Hobbit and spread that into 3 separate movies. So I agree, Lord of the Rings would have been awesome if it was, well, it might have been awesome if it was a TV show. There's a lot of lull in those movies, but I don't know. I think it could happen, but I see where you're coming from, Joe. Books, I think they should be shows. And movies, their own separate thing.
I can see the money in taking a movie like Lord of the Rings and turning it into a TV series because of how many episodes you're going to need to tell that story. It's going to go on for a long time, and then they could even branch off to side stories. So I could see the potential and money involved with doing it that way. But I guess I'd have to go to it the same way, too, with books. I mean, it does make sense when you have a book and you can turn them into TV series. But like I said, with a movie, I feel like certain ones are very special to me, and you can't just go and make a TV show after the following of that next movie or whatever. So,
well, what I'm saying specifically to Lord of the Rings is, have you guys seen the movie Clerks 2?
Yeah.
So you know how Randall's like, they're all the fucking same movie. They're just walking the whole time. Would you want to watch a prolonged series of Lord of the Rings where they're just walking?
Well, see, that's
basically all the movies are.
Well, I mean, it's like during Game of Thrones. They would have so many different storylines tied into it that they wouldn't be just Okay, I'm walking through the forest. Episode 2, I'm walking through the swamp. Episode 3, I'm walking through the snow. It's not like that. They're going to cut different. They would add more characters and more depth to the story. It's not just. I think there would be more satisfaction than they're just walking in the same, throughout the same thing. It's like Star Wars. It's like you go through in the original trilogy, they have a Death Star. We find the secret plans. We blow it up. Ewoks are dancing. The new one, we have a bigger Death Star. We fly through it and we blow it up. And then, it's just like, whoopee. But if it was in detail to kind of explain what exactly was happening, because you're going to have those critics out there that are like, well, at the end of what was it? At the end of episode 3, they were building the Death Star, and then at the end of Rogue One, they're still kind of, or not, they weren't still building it, but they were, it was just built. But there's so much time gap there that they're just kind of like, what the hell happened? I would like to see a series about Darth Vader. Like, what is he doing during this time? I want to see him killing people and force choking people and just absolute destruction throughout, between episodes 3 and 4. I mean, Rogue One, yes, but there's still a gap between episode 3 and Rogue One. So that gap needs to be filled.
And training Starkiller?
Well, Starkiller doesn't exist, according to Disney. So,
to my Star Wars experts, here's my Star Wars question. I can't remember if I asked you this before or not. How does the Death Star go into hyperspace?
Just like any
With
other
something
ship
that
does?
massive, how does it not hit something in hyperspace? And okay. I guess it was more of a question towards Joe, because I don't think his answer would be, it's just a movie. Shut up.
Well, I mean, if you have the advanced computing to do so, maybe it's not like a straight shot of space travel. When you actually think about it, there's a possibility that they could be using wormholes to travel. And when you travel through a wormhole, you're not necessarily traveling through anything. Does that make sense? Like, if we you're not just going really fast in one direction, you're actually bending time and space to start at one point and end at another, and you're not really hitting anything. That's why, if you remember when they were going to Alderaan, where Alderaan was supposed to be, and they came out of hyperspace, and then they hit the asteroid field. They didn't hit the asteroid field while they were in hyperspace. So they came out of it, and then stuff started hitting them. So that's kind of my explanation for it.
Okay, I'll just go with that. I mean, I could go on with it. But
yeah, I mean, if you want to get really detailed and technical about it, then go watch Star Trek.
I was just curious because we've never actually. Sorry, Chris. I was just curious because we've never actually seen the Death Star at light speed.
At light speed, yeah. That would be scary, though.
Do you guys really know how the Millennium Falcon travels through hyperspace? Because all I see is Han Solo just pressing switches and shit, and then they go into hyperspace. So,
well, they have to do calculations first, so they don't hit anything, and that's why they're like, my calculations aren't done yet. So that's how they do it, from my understanding. Which is why I'm like, I don't know. It's a straight shot from my understanding, so I don't see how you don't hit something and something as massive as a Death Star. And yeah, they do, from what I recall, they do have to do calculations before they jump into hyperspace.
okay.
Right, Joe?
Yep. I think they just have to have a known target point. But yeah, I know that there have been parts in the movies where we don't want to, blow through anything or do that. But for something as large as the Death Star, I just, yeah. Either it's moving really slowly or it doesn't travel through hyperspace. And like in The Force Awakens, the planet, with the Death Planet, whatever you want to call it, doesn't actually travel through hyperspace. The beam that it shoots travels through hyperspace. So,
yeah,
that's creepy. That's scary.
Okay. I wasn't getting too technical on my part. I just kind of going back and watching the movie in my mind. I just kind of see Han Solo in a panic and they're all trying to hit hyperspace. I don't really see him doing calculations or whatnot. It just kind of...
Well, because he's a badass, and he already knows what he needs to do.
I know. He knows what to do. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, going back to the movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty... From what I recall, I think there was a point in the movie where he's like, we can't do that because blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. But anyways, cool. Got any other rando shit? Or is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. Who's
okay.
ever.
I got rando.
Oh, shit.
My turn.
Okay, go.
So, upcoming this weekend, Deuce's wife is having her birthday, and I know she will be listening to this podcast on Monday, so happy birthday, Ceci. That's my rando.
Oh, happy birthday, Ceci. All right, so my rando shit was kind of more like a what the fuck, but still a rando shit, because I'm going to be talking a little bit about the NFL. And just wondering why the fuck the Cardinals picked up Blaine Gabbert. I can see kind of why. I mean, to replace Stanton, but I don't see him in our far future of the Cardinals after Palmer leaves. And then we also picked up a cornerback, Jamal Roll, which he came from the Texans. And then he was on the Vikings, I believe, for a little bit, but he had a torn ACL. So we like to pick up hurt players as well. We'll see what happens.
Sounds like garbage.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll take out the garbage. We'll see.
I wouldn't get too excited. I noticed because the Chiefs just dropped 7 players and signed 8. I think what they're doing is they're stacking the roster for training camp. They're doing the rookie training camps right now, but they're just trying to get some depth and then create competition so the star players shine. That's all I think. That's all that is. I wouldn't get too excited about it. I wouldn't get really excited about it until, like, either after preseason or during preseason when they're like, oh, the Arizona Cardinals signed Colin Kaepernick or RG3 or somebody like that. Then it's like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But until then, they're just creating competition because they pick up 90 and they cut it down to 53. So cool. That's all. I'm not being real super excited about whatever signings unless it's a star. Like, I want to know where Victor Cruz is going to end up because honestly, if he ends up on a team that's got a great quarterback, you're talking like, wow, that just adds that much more depth to that roster.
You think he still got it?
I do. I really do. It's just he was outshined by Beckham. So if he gets, I'm hoping, I'd love to have him on the Chiefs, but I know Andy Reid probably wouldn't do that. I'd like to see, honestly, I'd love to see Victor Cruz on the Dallas Cowboys because you have Victor Cruz, Cole Beasley, Dez Bryant, and you're talking about a dangerous receiving core if he gets signed there. So,
you shut your mouth, Joe.
Yes, here we go. I'm going to say, what if the Patriots sign Victor Cruz? You know? It's
That
like, shit.
Pretty nasty team there.
Or the Ravens or the Pittsburgh Steelers or somebody that's got a really great quarterback. Hell, even the Saints. If the Saints pick up Victor Cruz, you're going to have Snead and Cruz and Michael Thomas, and then you're going to have, who is it? Fleener? Not Fleener. Yeah. Fleener is the tight end, and you got AP, Ingram. It's like, okay, they win.
Joe, what's the latest on Ingram?
I haven't heard anything.
Oh, I've seen a rumor floating around that Eagles are trading Ingram for our center.
Did you Snopes it?
I didn't Snopes it because it already said rumor.
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't wait until it actually. I haven't seen anything on Bleacher Report about that. I always use Bleacher Report for my NFL rumors and my NFL news because I get it at least 10 to 15 minutes before NFL Network. So, yeah.
Time is
of the essence, especially when find out that something happens to Marshawn Lynch or something, or somebody on the Raiders gets arrested. So, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That's.
I think this is going to conclude episode number 42. This is Chris, a.k.a. Prodigy Drone. PSN ID, Prodigy Drone, no space. I'm going to go play some video games.
This is Miguel. I'm going to go play some Overwatch.
This is Jew. Gamer tag Deuce Drone, Xbox, PlayStation Network, Joe Deuce. I'm going to go do something. But first, I'm going to wish Ceci happy birthday. Happy birthday, Cess. Love you.
Game on, guys.
Game on, guys.
Game on.
Did you say this is Jew?
Yeah.
Fight. Baraka.